Okay, everybody, I am just looking for the video. It tells me I'm live. There we are. I'm just going to do the sharing myself. Just going to share it into all of the places it's meant to be. I know a lot of you have followed this as an event. Just going to put it into our February class group, because we're doing February classes. Hello Dee, how are you? And I'm just going to share it into the live notification group. And there we go. Hello Debbie, hello Sandy, hello Jackie, hello Chloe, how are we all? Okay, so far this week we have made this easel card with Mammy John on Monday night, a bit of a Valentine theme. So that was Monday night with her. There's a without stencils mixed media bundle and a with stencils bundle. So you want everything, you buy both, but because the stencils we've already used in other classes, she did the stencils as a separate bundle if you want the stencils. And then on Wednesday night we did this page. Love that. It is pretty awesome, isn't it, Dee? So we did this simple page, and sometimes the simplest pages can take the most effort. So this week we're using on Safari. So this page and then the mini book, which is our card making class that I'll show you now, are part of our week 7 kit. So, and they're in our February class group. To get access to the February class group, you either buy a weekly kit like 6, 7, 8, or 9 for $20. Or you buy all 4 kits for $70, so you save $10 there. Or you can subscribe, so on the 5th of each month, your card, sorry, no PayPal or Afterpay, they're the rules, not our set rules, that's just how it happens, that's just so we can meet the legislation. Your card is billed, and you pay $59.85 for the 4 classes each month. The class kits, or you could just subscribe casually to a month and that's $25, or you can do the monthly. It'll bill your card on the anniversary of the month. Actually I think it's actually the 5th, to be perfectly honest, and it'll bill your card $20. So it's only $20 to subscribe and sign up, and it automatically bills your card on the 5th of every month, or it's $25 just to watch the classes, and you get 8 classes for that for the month. Or you can subscribe for an entire year, the whole year of 2024, for $220. That's a significant saving. So yeah, there we go. And this is what we did on Thursday night, which was because we drove home on Tuesday from Brisbane. Instead of making a card, we made a mini book. So sometimes we'll make a mini book instead of a card. So let me go back. Hello, Cheryl and Trish. Hello, Inga. Hello, Diana. Wow, awesome creations. I really need to make time for my creativity. I think we all do, Dee. I think it's really, really important to make time to get creative. It's a big part of our mental health. We're keeping us sane. So I said hello, Pam. Hello, Cheryl. Time blocking. What I think I need to do. Dee, you might need to do it as well. Time blocking. I'm going to block out some time just for creating. I'm not getting everything done I need to get done. And things keep on coming up that have to be done straight away, and I don't get done what I want to get done or need to. So we're using under construction tonight. I did want to design some new product, but I didn't get there because I just had lots of other things to do this week. Hello, Karen. Hello, Mel. That's paper 1. And then this is paper 2. And then this is paper 3. And shockingly, I have no idea why I've ended up with one of paper 3. Yes. So yeah, I really think I need to block out time in my schedule to make sure I can get things for me done. Like going for a walk every day. Now, paper 2 we don't have a lot of. There's only 28 sheets of paper 2 left. Just thought I better check that before I get all excited about what I'm going to use. Probably not allowed to use paper 2. Mammy John wouldn't let me, but she's gone to the movies with some of the other members of the youth council. So she's on the Gladstone Regional Council Youth Council. So she's, they're not elected, they are selected. So I went through my box of fussy cutting and bits and bobs. And I really want to use under construction. But I thought maybe we could. So I actually have I made a birthday cake that was like a construction zone, and it was like a deconstructed hill, and there were bits gouged out of it, and it was iced, and it had matchbox cars and excavators and all sorts of stuff on it. And that was for Noah's, I think it was his 5th birthday. I think it was the one when he was in prep. I don't want cakes and things. I just thought maybe a couple of candles. You know, like cogs and candles. We have done this on a card. I have actually made a card that had like cogs and candles and stars. And I had some stars left over from something. So yeah. So I have a few cogs. They kind of go with robot antics, but this is a under construction one. I'm the same. I need to do that as well. I'm a stay-at-home mum and still can't get stuff done. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Liz. How are you? Yeah. I just don't get anything done. Don't even get the house cleaned half the time. I get home and I'm a bit of a bit tired. Do sort of, you know, something along. I got one piece of construction. Thinking like colour cuts and mixing a few bits and pieces. I do like these, but and I have used this piece of paper an awful lot, but I probably don't have enough to do a kit. So sadly, I won't be using paper 2 because I need to leave paper 2 for you guys. But I can use paper 3.
No paper 2.
There's only 28 sheets left.
Oh, which one?
Under construction.
Don't believe that.
Yeah, believe it. I've counted it a few times to make sure.
Wowzers. Get in quick.
So, if we can't use, we can put some balloons. These, we do have them in a stencil. This is how we keep our stencils. Not as organised. Oh, that'll be nice, as it possibly should be. Now, I probably shouldn't sit here and fluff around all night, should I? I'm not going to use the spot stencil. It is my favourite go-to. Oh, look, there's 2 of that one. We do somehow, Mamie John goes, oh, I want to use this stencil. I don't think we have it yet. And she will bring a stencil home. And lo and behold, we already have it. Yes. Maybe honeycomb? Maybe that one. Stars is a bit of a go-to with me. You all know that. I am looking for this one. So there we go. That is barrier tapes. My little boy loves cars. He stole the cars and left the cake. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. There is nothing at all wrong with that. There is a construction equipment stencil. It's a dog one. Ah, here we go. Construction equipment. Okay. Oh, there's lots there I could use. Oh, cogs. I think we've used that a bit. But what we could do is get a cog stamp. We could do a smiley face. Yeah. When you come to our retreats, when we don't always do it with every retreat, but this one, oh no, that's a paperific little mini one. So these are our stamps we make, our mixed media stampers. And these little guys are what we give like for special things like retreats, super weekends. So we got a super weekend coming up in 3 weeks. It is called Friends Forever. Now, over in the Creative Family group, we actually have a bit of a survey where you're meant to be adding in the collections you want us to. Look at that. There's another one of the same stamp. See, she does it with stamps as well. You can add in the collections you want to see us work with or zhuzh up. I used to put everything and everyone before me until I had a big crash. I work part-time and allocate some time during days off to scrap. Yep. You've got to do that. Hello, Debbie. How are you? You've really, really got to devote the time to yourself. Kind of, if you don't devote the time to your creativity, no one else is going to give you the time. No one's going to turn up on your doorstep and go, oh, it's 10 hours of pure scrapbooking time. Well, no one has turned up and done that for me yet. So I've got some Cutest Farm, which I love this piece of paper. We all know that. And I've got some cats and dogs. And this piece is poppies. Red cardstock. Red is just such a hard colour to obtain. Missy was walked in the shed. Is anyone surprised? I got some chipboard boots. Because I'm not surprised. Missy is watching. Rightio. We could do super and buddies, mates, and rememberable, which is cool. Hello, Miss Moo.
Hello. I put in your dad's something. Dad, you know why under the house? It's missing.
Can you shut the windows, please?
Shut your windows. Make sure your aircon's on. Maybe. Ladders. These are mono goggles and construction helmets, tools, small cogs, more flares, just little tabs. I might use those, and we've got some arrows. And they gave me one of these, thought I could use it. I like to say I'm semi-retired. Yeah. I have a great pal in Paula who is more than happy to pop over, and we create sometimes with a partial plan, sometimes with no plan. Yep. And sometimes no plan is less stress, isn't it, Karen? Sometimes no plan at all is a lot less stress. Rightio. So we've got some words. Super mates, buddies, rememberable. And what about, interesting thing with this piece of paper, when you do that, it looks like two different colors. But when you do this, it's actually the same color. Well, it's because the color shades across. But I find if I do that, it's not so bad. It's because the color actually changes as it goes across the paper. Oh, I've had fits about this piece of paper. But I don't mind it like that. So what if we did that in the background? Let's get a bit of an idea. Oh, I thought I had 2 bits of white. And we use some white. And let's do a bit of mixed media. Not a lot. We'll just do a little. And we'll do things like we've got our, you know, put our little clusters together. So one of our big focuses, because we've had a lot of questions about it, big focuses in the last couple of months has been on creating with clusters. Like bringing things together, not necessarily disparate things like I am here, but bringing our embellishments together to make clusters and to make them look like they're sort of natural, like they're meant to kind of be there. So we had a bit of blue going around the outside. There's a bit of a knack to getting that border right. And then we've got some fussy cuts that came from this piece. So we've got a boom and a shield, right? So then what we'll do is we'll use a bit of orange and a bit of brick. And then, so probably a bit of brick, a shield, a boom, and we might use a little bit of this, but I think it might be a bit dark for a child's page, but we'll definitely use some orange. Definitely some orange, and we might use red, we might not. It's kind of under construction. And we'll use a little bit of this. I think so we might use a bit of that black in the end. And then we might chuck in, so we're going with sort of a bright contrasty look. Chuck in a little bit of that. So what if we matte our photos on the aqua? Quentin does like the Aquaman movie. Hello, Robin. Okay, I'm going back. I read that one. So I have to say hello to Paula because I bet she's watching. Did you remember? Oh, yes, Debbie. Sorry. I was meant to message you. Thank you very much. Debbie sent us back some packaging. It's wonderful. Thank you so very much. It's our little tiny bit to save the planet is we've reused the packaging. Some people ask that their stuff comes without plastic or with minimum plastic. We have customers that don't get tissue paper. We have customers that don't get any plastic packaging at all. And some of them, they get all their different colour cuts all in clip seal, different clip seal bags or all in one clip seal bag. No Planet My Planet face is fine because everything I could ever need is here in arm's reach. That's cool. Hello, Jen. What's it like in Tassie? We've got storms all around us. There's no DoorDash tonight. Quentin was going to go out door dashing. I'm kind of glad he didn't. I've got a not feeling 100% Noah, and he is, yeah, he doesn't do being unwell very well. He doesn't feel 100%, and he doesn't like that. He's a bit of a control freak like his mum. Hello, Eileen. And hi, Mel. How are you? Can you hear the noisy helicopters at your house? There's been a fire over the back of Mayfield. Oh, I hope everyone's okay. Fires are never, ever good. Haven't heard the helicopters. There you go. I have another collection soon. Oh, Debbie, you're so wonderful. Thank you. A lot of people send us packaging. It's hot there in Tassie. Wow. Yeah, but what's your hot? I bet you your hot's different to my hot in temperature. So what if we put some of these bits So they sort of come out of where our clusters are going to be. And then we could put some, so maybe we do some paste construction equipment, so that then what happens is when we add color like smushing or something over the top, we'll get some pooling around the construction equipment. You'll sort of see it and then not see it. There, a few fires burning at the moment. Oh, that's not good. They've been flying around for hours. It sounds like they have it contained now. That's good. But they've got it contained. Oh, hot is different. 29 today, 30 tomorrow, and 31 Sunday. That's not bad. That's fairly hottish for most places. Add in 88% humidity in. It's the humidity here that's the killer. It's really the humidity that gets us. We'll put a few stars. Let's put these here. Maybe not cogs if we stick cogs on. Maybe not. But what we could do is we could do a little bit of the sun ray. We're going to have a look at how to put different things together and make it do with what we've got. So we're going to matte in the aqua. We're going to add some pieces of this. Going to add a little bit of our orange and a bit of our bricks. And then we're going to have our base in this blue, which we'll add somewhere else. So I'm definitely going to use the blue cogs. And then what we'll do is we'll do all our messy stuff on our white. But what we might do is construct our whole base so that some of our paste and our color goes over onto our blue base, and it looks like it's all meant to be there. It's a bit more flow, but then what it'll also do is mean that the page is stronger. My mother-in-law can be out walking in 40 over on the mainland, but can't in 30 here in Tassie. And I think that's because on the mainland 40 is kind of hot day, but 30 there is a hot day. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like when Milton was in back in our spring, but their autumn, he was in Sweden and he said it's 28 and it's really, really hot. He goes, I know it's not hot compared with home, but for here it's hot. It's where you are, the temperature. Lovely spring days. There you go. Hot soon. I have a cruise to Tassie in 22 days with my 4 sisters. You're going to love that, Debbie. How are you, Margaret? So let's get that. Just going to transfer this to my mini design board. I like the mini design board for double pages. And I can't think of why other than the fact that it's just small enough for me to move around, because I'm not going to design the whole page on it. I'm just going to design my clusters, and I can just pick it up and move it around from position to position where all my clusters go. So we'll sit that over there. Get my pile of bits and bobs and move them for the moment. I will make a custom colour cut for this. I just lost it. Okay. I lost a piece. So we're going to make a double background, and we are going to cut the innards out. Mayfield is a suburb of Launceston. It's on the other side of the river to you. Okay, there you go. Did watch for a while. My parents live in the suburb next to Mayfield. I hope they're okay, Dan. I really hope everyone's okay. That's good, Margaret. I think your sister's here, Margaret, too. I'm sure I said hello to her earlier. Okay. So when we do this, it's not like we're cutting, so the blue pieces are going to be 12 by 12, right? But it's not going to, like we're going to cut two 11 by 11s. If you do that, you'll have a gap in the middle. But if we cut these, so to have like a 1/2 inch border all the way around, we're actually going to cut these to 11 by 11.5, so that we meet in the middle, but not on the edge. So sometimes people go, oh, I'm just going to cut two 11 by 11s, but then they sit in the middle, or you end up with a really big gap on the end. So you've just got to think about that a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to put these two together like this, right? They're going to go together like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them together. Don't look at the back. I've got my barcodes. And I'm just going to cheat a reader. And I'm going to come up and I'm just going to cut them at 12 inches. And then I'm going to spread them out like this. And we're going to stick them. And I'm going to sit them on up on this because it's a little bit closer to you and it's also got contrast. So let's get some tape. Hello, Helena. How are you? There she is. I knew your sister was here, Mark. Like you weren't seen her. It said hello. I hope everyone's had a good week. I know, and I hope everyone's okay in Victoria. I know a lot of our Victorian customers don't have electricity currently. I know a lot are in fire zones and flood zones. I just hope everyone is okay. So there we go. That's our base. Let's put that aside. And then what we're going to do is get our two pieces of our white. And we're just going to make sure. So white, so cardstock can be a little rectangular. Yeah, that seems to be exactly right. So I've put it face to face. And we're going to cut them to 11 inches by, keeping them together, 11.5. So we've gone 11.5 this way. So this is the way. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up like this. That, lucky I did that. There's a mark there. And look, they're the same size. Sometimes when I cut them separately, I can end up with them slightly different, and it drives me nuts. But, you know, lots of things drive me nuts. So we're going to line it up, and we're going to band-aid them together with some tape. So if you're in Gladstone tomorrow, it is Super Saturday. So when we stick this on here, see, we have a nice even border the whole way around. So we're going to be careful how I stick it down. There we go. I'm just going to make sure no one else is turned up. Liz is over watching this on the tube. There's probably other people watching on Facebook. So, Helena, are you a Margaret and Aileen sister as well? I don't always know up front. I try not to put my foot in it. But I know a lot of you know each other now. After a couple of years. Okay. So before we stick our white piece on, we've put tape all the way around and we've not gone the whole way across here. And I've tried not to stretch my tape. We've got it broken at the center points. And we are going to cut the middle out of this. I'm good friends with Margaret and Aileen. There you go. Well, good friends is kind of like sisters, isn't it, Helena? I'm going to say that good friends is just like family. Friends actually come through sometimes better than family, just as good as family. So we're going to come in about an inch. But we're going to come an inch from the center. We're not going to go past our center point because I find the page gets too floppy. There's a close. She started you off in scrapbooking. There you go. Scrapbooking is awesome. I had already dabbled a little in scrapbooking most of my life, but I already had scrapbooking stuff and had been doing, you know, just sort of dabbling. But I bought a magazine that had, oh, jeez, that's there, over there. I bought a magazine that, because I did a bit of family history stuff as well. Still do. Noah and I do a little bit every now and then together. I bought a scrapbooking magazine that had an article in it. So it said on the front cover that it had an article especially about family history and how to, you know, how to scrapbook your family history. And I went, oh, that sounds interesting. Always in it, you know, always looking for ways to keep my family history documentation looking good. And because it was pretty, yeah, I was doing quite a bit of documentation with it. But the family history article wasn't flash. It didn't do what it promised. But I'm going to say I was completely hooked. Completely and unhooked. By the end of that week, I had already ordered more stuff online. The next week, I'd entered a competition, and I think within the month of getting that magazine, I already had noticed that I was going to have something in a magazine. I was just, it was my thing. I found my true north. So, yeah, mine was a magazine. Even though I'd already been dabbling in that, the really falling headfirst in love with scrapbooking was a magazine. Okay, so what I'm going to do, you can see I've taken my little band-aids off here in the middle. Sorry, it flashes when we have the white. And then I'm lining it up, and I've only undone that, and I'm lining it up so it's even top and bottom, but my center line on my cardstock matches my center line on my frame, and I'm just pushing that down. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel back. I didn't want to do this beforehand because I didn't want things sticking all over the place and getting a big twisted mess. So on each side, I'm going to peel back and crease, and then that should sit up for the moment. Or actually, let's just do one end at a time. So now I'm just going to make sure it sits down nicely. I like where it sits. And then peel it out. It's not perfect. My eyesight's not particularly fabulous. I like my sisters. I love that. Family history, yeah. We don't have Ancestry, but we still have the Family Tree Maker software, which we keep fairly up to date, although we didn't do the latest update. I didn't buy the latest update. But Noah and I actually look at, so our latest thing is we look at the origins of family names and the incidences of those family names around the world. Quentin actually has a relative, one of his, so Quentin's great grandmother, one of his great grandmothers, her name has only been identified 55 times, and all in Australia, and it's actually identified as a made-up name, which is really, really interesting. So Noah and I have been tracing her origins a little bit lately. So I'm just looking for my light moulding paste. It's in behind here. Look, I've got tissue from a retreat kit. We did retreat last weekend. I've got Nautical Dream stuff coming out of my ears here. And it's all just, piled up. So I've got some light moulding paste. Thank you, Dee. I drove past a store near our place and got curious, walked in, and I was hooked. So I went back home, got Margaret, dragged her in the store, and now it's history. I've been doing this now more than 15 years. Wow. So Naomi was only a baby. So, I've had the store over 21 years. It was 21 years in November. So it's probably like 22 years since that happened. Maybe more, maybe 21 years. Started by making my eldest daughter an album for her 21st, and that was to be the end of it. Oh my gosh, Deborah. That's exactly how Astrid started as well. We were making a 21st album. She was making a 21st album for her oldest and got hooked. She's now going on 40. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Everything named by humans was originally made up in the first instance. There you go. But yes, it's not very long ago the name was made up, and it doesn't have a long history. Very interesting. But yes, it's a name made up in Australia around the early 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s. It looks like it's only one family. I don't think Noah's going to let it go. He's a bit, he can be a bit single-minded when we start researching a family. We haven't done a lot of research into the name Redshaw. We just don't want to know. We're a little bit worried that might be the name of the people that cleaned up after fights or things on the shores, on the shoreline. So we're a bit dubious about that one.
So we're cleaner-uppers. I
don't know. We're not finding out at this point in time. Noah's said it's not on our radar. He's got other family names he's more interested in. They're more interesting names.
Wait, like what?
Oh, we got some really interesting ones. Some ones that we thought were German and are not. So what we're going to do is, I think we'll try and put a bit of our construction equipment here, a bit down here, a bit there, there, and there.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So when I put the paste through, I've got a little bit of paste, and I try not to go over it too much. Like I'm going over it a couple of times here. Not going over it too much. But I only go in one direction. If you go back the other way, you run the risk of having a bit of a connection.
You don't want that.
We don't want that. So what are you doing here?
Oh, I'm just waiting for Dad to get me a milk because he's still in the shower.
Oh, is he just? Okay. Well, that's okay.
I think I know where the other two get their love and shower.
You reckon it's from Dad?
Mm.
You reckon Dad's the cause of the showering for too long? Showering till someone knocks?
Yep.
They've got a big problem with that, haven't they?
Yeah.
You know, you have the same problem.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm too young to turn off the shower.
That's a likely excuse, isn't it? Sounds a bit like a likely excuse to me.
It's technically the truth.
A little bit here. It kind of crosses the line, but I want some here.
Aren't you going to put some over here?
You reckon I need a little bit over there?
Looks very blank.
Looks blank, does it? We'll just put a tiny bit here, hey?
I feel like Dad's taking the shower.
You feel like Dad's hogging the shower.
Mm.
What are you meant to be doing? Oh, you're meant to be getting ready for bed, aren't you?
Yes. I'm having
Can I have
a
strips?
What?
Can I have strips?
No. Go and ask Dad. My great-grandmother changed her name and left England with all her adult children. Oh, that's interesting, Deborah. My daughter's name comes from a character in a Daniel Steele book, Danina. Oh, that's cool. Me too. My baby girl turned 21, was the inspiration for my first dabble in scrapbooking. I was really frustrated with limited supplies back in 2008. Designed and printed my own backgrounds for some pages using MS Publisher on A4 paper. Oh, wow. Say the same about showers. Yes. Okay. So I don't think we're going to do it on this. Sometimes what I do is I scrape into it, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to leave it. So you can see, kind of. You can kind of see it. But around the edges, yeah, it's because it's white. So where it goes over the edge, I just make sure I don't have any globby bits. And let's move that over there. Put that there. So as soon as Dad's out of the shower, we've got to get him to wash out that palette knife and stencil. You've really got to clean your stencils straight away. Actually, this is an old cloth nappy. I'm still on my anti-wipes kick. You know, saving the planet. It's not much, but...
Oh, I see why your wipes now are under the Pinto pens.
Well, that's a canister of wipes. It's just there because I needed those raised up a bit. There's nothing in it.
There isn't?
Nope. We'll get Dad to wash that when he comes back. If he's still in that shower, can you knock for him, please?
Mm-hmm.
She loves that. Okay. So now let's talk photographs. So you've got one piece of paper. So if we did our photos that they were 4x6 size, let me get a 4x6 photo, which is not correct. And we did photo mats.
He's had a shower.
We would only be able to mat 3 photos.
He's had a shower. He's washed himself. He's wiped himself. He's got dressed, but he's now cleaning the shower.
Okay, let's leave him alone. But if we cut our photos down to like 5 3/4 by 3 3/4, we would actually get, and we did 4x6 photo mats, we'd actually get 6 photos matted out of a sheet. So
I got a question. Why were some of us upside down?
I was just using them as a size example. So let's think about photos. What if we did like 3 that were like 4x6 mats and 3 mats that are 4x4, and then we use a little tiny bit of this somewhere else because it'll leave us like a 2-inch strip. So let's get our trim out and let's cut at 6.
I'm going to do 10 minutes reading.
Right, do that. Bye.
Okay. Others that hadn't had a shower.
Oh, okay. And then let's cut it 4 inches. So that's 3 4x6s, and then we're going to do 3 4-inch by 4-inch pieces. So we'll get 6 photos on, and we'll put this colour somewhere else. So let's take this piece, because you'll get one of these in a kit. And let's so we're going to use this one on our page. And this one on our page, right? So that's what we would fussy cut. So then let's take this brick, and we're just going to make the brick the max. Oh, whoops. The maximum. Oh, let's make it 6. I cut into that. 6 by. It's just short of 6. 5 7/8. So 6 by 5 7/8. So what about if we put this? Okay, let's leave that. I do have a stencil and a palette knife here to wash out. So then we'll get a 12-inch by 4.5-inch piece of this orange. So this is under construction 3. So sometimes even before, so what we could do is we could have this kind of at both ends as a brick wall, and then have these through the middle. I'm quite visual. And let's leave that until we get our piece over here. We might have to dry that because we don't want to sit here until midnight watching me faff around cutting up stuff I might not use. You know. Rightio. Right. Let's get the heat tool out and dry it off. So when you dry light moulding paste, only happens with light moulding paste. What happens is other stuff bubbles up, but this sort of will puff up a little like, you know, puff paint back in the day. So it will do sort of a bit like that. But move around from spot to spot with your heat tool so that you don't burn it and overcook it or over bubble it. Okay, that's dry enough. Okie doke. Let's get our bits together. So a nice big gap there.
There's your page coming on there.
Good.
Wow, that's different to what I expected.
So we want this to kind of expandorate across the page.
Is that a word?
It is now. Don't question it.
Roger, no question. I would never doubt you.
Okay. So what if we had the bricks? So we had like a bit of brick here and a bit of brick here, right? And then coming out of the brick was a bit of this and a bit of it coming out there. Because it would almost meet in the middle. Right. Step back on the bin. It has not come and taken. Right. Either that or we put the brick there. But that's a bit naff, isn't it? Okay. Let's do our background now. So our colours are, we've got like aqua, orange. I think we're going to do our words in black. I think we are going to use black on this. I think we are going to use some of this denim. Feeling a little lost. You need to wash these,
Roger.
please.
What's that? She's coming to say goodbye.
I'll move this out of your way. You've got to wait till you're in there first.
Good night. Hello. Goodbye.
And you're not staying. Mwah. I love you.
I need to.
See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Right. So we kind of want an orange, so it's yellow and red. Greener than that, but that might work.
Right. Yeah, that's
Pastel mint. Pastel mint might work. That's our orange. Let's use pastel marigold. What have we got? We've got that blue. Okay, not going to do that above the page. I'm going to be careful not to manhandle paint tubes and then... Yep. That's in the matte of the satin phthalo blue. And then let's make a lime green. Do the blue, the lime green, the orangey colour, and then we'll grab something for black. Which is matte. Okay. So this is sort of, well, I built it the same, similar. Sort of inspired by this, but if we use the denim, then we could have this sort of that out. So, got a couple of these stencil brushes. They're meant to be kids' stencil brushes. And we got this pastel marigold. Everyone said goodnight, Mealy. Thank you, everyone. Oh, hello, Karen. Oops, she's gone to sleep. They all said goodnight. Okay, so we've got the stencil brush. Got a bit of paint on there.
I'm just going around the hour and I spoke about it.
And then I've just flicked all particles everywhere.
What are you using?
What's that?
Oh, okay.
A stencil brush that's quite dirty.
Chubby brushes.
Chubby brushes, yes. So we're just getting a bit of colour on. This chubby brush is not clean. He's just going to get milk. And then we were going to put some down here. Being careful here because I know this paste here isn't very dry. So a little bit coming in there. A little bit coming in there. So it really grabs on the stenciling, on the paste, on the light molding paste. And we know we've got a photo here. So we know we're going to put a photo here. So let's just put a little bit and make sure, apply now, ask for forgiveness later, make sure we actually cover it up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean as much off as I can. There we go. And I'm just going to dust this off. It's just got a lot of paint flakes on it currently. Okay, so that's Sunburst, that one. So let's use a stencil just a little differently. So it's actually technically the wrong way to use a stencil, but we're going to do it, and I'll do this later. We're going to do it, and you'll see that it's okay if it's not perfect, but it's not too bad. So we're going to get our paint. There is no water on this brush, right? No water at all. We've got paint on our brush. And then I'm going to, and I'm not staying too close to the surface. I'm just painting. Haven't got a lot of paint on the brush. I'm not trying to get a perfectly solid finish either. Haven't got like a big dollop of paint. If I had a big dollop of paint, it would smush underneath. I am going in multiple directions, but I don't have masses of paint. Let's do another one here. I'm making sure I spread the paint on the bristles. This is how not to stencil, but it's not perfect. Some of the bristles went underneath. It's okay. It matches our mixed media look. Let's do this smaller one here. If my brush wasn't so bodgy, my brush is a bit... It's okay. And I'm sort of lining up the edge of the stencil. With I like that one. With the edge of, so I'm lining up part of the stencil with part of the page to get it that it looks straight. I like that one. I was just going in one direction there. We just need just one more of these. So just wipe the excess paint off so that it doesn't change the landscape of the stencil. Being careful not to damage the stencil. Some of the fine pieces can get damaged. Yeah. That was the wrong way to use a stencil, but I'm not really worried. Watch the end tomorrow. It's my bedtime. I have been away from home for a number of weeks now, but when I get back there, it won't take long for me to get my craft room in a mess again. I need to catch up. Oh my gosh. Yep, Chrissy, that's how not to do it, but then you've got to try this in. A makeup sponge here. But, see, I don't mind. It looks like it's off in the distance and it's distressed. So it gives a nice distressed, I don't mind it. But you really have to see how these ones worked a little better, but they still look nice and distressed. That was one direction only. One direction. Wash the paintbrush and then dry it. Rightio. Hey, out of the fridge. An ice brick. Okay. You need to go to bed, mate. Put stars on. Okay, let's use some of this blue to put on stars, and then we'll do some lime green cogs. So this is the phthalo blue. Oh, the stencil brush has been Amy Johned. Honest to goodness. It's got a big dollop of hot pink in the middle. It's lime green. It's got a dollop of hot pink, and it looks like paste. Should be right. Should be right. Okay. So I want to spread most of it around and off. Maybe I did find some interesting makeup sponges just before Christmas. Now, you would layer this. So to get this so that it's a solid colour, you layer it. But we don't want a solid, I don't want a solid colour. So just on a tiny bit here. Because that's just peeking out from our photo. Oh, that's a bit solid. Let's get a bit more solid up here. That'll do. And then we're going to wipe our brush. Wipe our brush, and then we're going to wipe our stencil. Being careful not to damage it. Right. The white really does do a whole reflection thing, doesn't it? Okay, so we've got, so remembering when we mix yellow with another colour, like green or blue, we use the tiniest amount of our green or blue. Just the tiniest little slither, because they are just so much stronger. So we've got like a lemon yellow and medium green. And we're going to put some cogs. So we're going to use paint brushes that we were born with. And we're going to mix it as we go. And I'm patting it on so it only gets on the surface of the stamp. If I swipe it on, you could paint it on. If I swipe it on, I run the risk of getting it in the grooves. We could paint our words with this colour. What do you think? I like when you put it on like this and you get different colours. Oh, finish watching tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I've been an hour and a quarter. I love that. I've said that many times too. Out of the fridge. Yep. Yep. They do, don't they? I think they look good. It's meant to be under construction, but I think it's ended up being a bit of this and a bit of that. Making sure I turn it around and get some bits down on the bottom bit. Actually, I think I might go back to my original plan of black words because they'll stand out. And then I've got a little bit on that cog there. I'm going to just do that. Water, the cloth, and I'm going to clean my stamp off. My daughter does not clean the stamp. I'm just wiping it gently. The foam we use for these is as environmentally friendly as foam can be, and it is antibacterial, so it doesn't actually won't go moldy. Oops, I got a bit of black there. So it won't actually go moldy if you leave it wet. Okay, let's give that a bit of a dry, and then what we're going to do is do some splatting and smushing, and then we'll be done. And let's move our plastic palette off to bed. Catch up tomorrow. Okay. So I think we need a bit of blue. So let's add a heap of water to that blue, because we want it to be really watery, like not opaque. I want it to be super watery. I'm going to scoop. And just be sort of gentle. We don't want a million, like we don't want it. We just want a sort of a calculated quantity. Up here, because we're gonna. Oh, and I got on my white pants. And a tiny bit of our lemony colour. Lots and lots of water. Our lemony lime. Not quite as much water, so we get smaller dots. So the more water you put in, the bigger the dots. Right, let's put that aside to dry. I'll hold it up so you can see. I don't even know if we need too much of that paper on the background. That over there, got space behind me. Rightio. I think that was the black there. So we've got super, mates, buddies, and rememberable. Some black. A bit of water. So I always do the first coat a bit watery so that I get a bit of colour on there and it doesn't get down in the grooves. Just move it around so it doesn't stick. This is matte black, so it's a satin from the satin set of paints, the Montmartre ones we sell. So it's not going to be shiny, it's going to be matte. Oh geez, too much paint there. He came out and got an ice brick, Quentin. Quentin? He came out and got an ice brick.
Yeah, he's sitting in the lounge. All the lunatics on the road.
Yep, the road's a bit wet. Like I said earlier, there's storms in Queensland, all over Queensland, except here. And there's no DoorDash, so everyone's going to be... Oh, there's DoorDash now? There was no DoorDash earlier, so everyone's like up in arms. We don't use DoorDash, but Quentin does DoorDash. But yes. Around here, I suppose like everywhere else, hoons come out in force when it's wet.
We'll be overtaken by this patrol cyclist.
Oh dear. The problem is they're not young.
No, he actually wasn't.
No, they're our age. Shocking as that is. Nearly done. Second coat. Black really only requires 2 coats. But I do like to do 2 coats instead of just one thick one. Because one thick coat just ends up in all the grooves. And just making sure I don't have any in the gaps and that I've moved them. So just move them a couple of times so they don't get stuck to whatever you're painting them on. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Move that. I think because we've done so much mixed media, I might need to distress these, but we'll have a look at that when we get to it. Just going to make some fakey photos. I really want to use the photos from Noah's 5th birthday, but pretty sure I don't have them. So 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. Now we need 3 of those, remember? 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. Pretty sure they're on the hard drive that died. Still hoping it gets fixed. But maybe it's a pipe dream. And then we need, oh, that's a nice big piece. Let's leave that for a different photo. And then we need 3 that are 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And let's go around here. Because they've obviously. The black cardstock is left over from an art project of Naomi's at uni. One of her from her final exhibition. When the lecturer said she needed to put black behind everything, and she had lots and lots. What she did was she made paper, and then she from recycled paper, and then she laser engraved letters written by the soldiers that were staying at the barracks doing their training, because it was at the barracks of Kelvin Grove. That's where their gallery is at the uni, and it was their letters home while they were there doing their training way back when. I think it's World War II, and and she engraved it on the handmade paper. And the lecturer said to put black behind them, and then when she did some, because she knew it wasn't going to look good, the lecturer goes, oh, maybe you shouldn't do that. So we're left with all this black cardstock. which I'll eventually use. There's hundreds of them. So we're going to cut the middle out of all of our photo mats so that we keep the weight in our albums down and we don't waste paper.
Look at this.
Lots. You're a bit late. I've only been going for an hour and a half nearly. I'm taking forever, and all I've done is a background. I'm doing a typical Elisa fluffed stick. That's what Quentin calls it. Typical Elisa fluffed stick. Fluff around for a couple of hours, and then just whack it all on at the end.
I just opened up Facebook page and they created Facebook. Yeah, created family. Beautiful.
It was an amazing project, Cheryl. We still have a lot of engraved letters. Big photos of it in the group. There are some photos in the group. We'll have to, maybe we'll tag them back to the top. Though it is from, what was final year? 2021. She did very well. So 72 that started, only 12 finished their degree on time.
Yeah. That was a bit,
The rest of the
COVID too,
the rest of the graduates were that graduated with her. They were from the year before and the year before that. But yeah, it's not an easy degree, visual art. It's not at all easy. It's not what people think it is as a bludge. Like, art is not easy. Art is not an easy A. And a lot of people think art's going to be an easy A for their kids, or kids think it's going to be an easy A even at school. Art is not an easy A. It's very subjective, ever evolving, and it's very difficult. And they can spin on a dime and say they want all the work sent away, which Naomi's at the level she was at, being the top level student, she all of her artwork was sent away in high school. All of it in high school was sent away, which was we didn't have to pay for it. The education board paid for it, thank goodness. Okay, I think it looks pretty good. Once we put these on, and you know what? I don't think we're going to use that pattern paper I've cut up. Bugger me. Is what is. I would normally let this dry naturally. We just don't have time to sit around and fluff around a bit more. I really don't know if I'm going to put a lot on the background. What's that?
I like a little starburst stencil.
Mm.
creative family saw Deborah's post about how she did the stages of her page,
Yeah.
and everyone was commenting how great it was that she put the stages how to do a page up. So it's,
That's really cool. Deborah's awesome. So,
it's better than IKEA, mate.
really.
Sorry, it's
Offensive to IKEA or offensive to Deborah?
probably offensive. What was that unit we bought? And it had 4 easy steps, but step 2 had 17 sub steps.
Yep.
It is quite windy outside.
Mm. And I'm going to put like our cold candle boom thing there. I'm going to put like this one here. And we'll put a couple more cogs and things on. What do we think? Okay. Let's come back and revisit. Orange paint.
What have you done?
Oh, I was going to put the bricks and the orange on here, but yeah. My thoughts exactly. No.
You might be looking for your trading post there.
Does everyone remember the trading post? Telling the kids, was it today?
Oh, yesterday we're telling kids.
Yesterday we're telling the kids about what it used to be like when you used to go and get the trading post and you used to line up and
You had to be quick.
Yep. Blasted trading post. And then I had to buy an extra trading post and post it to Dad up in the territory. My dad did FIFO before FIFO was a thing. Long before, unfortunately. What do we think?
I'm not sure Irene takes a birthday card for Jim. She might.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, they coming in the shop?
No, she's got piano on the wall.
Oh, she does too. See, I nearly forgot that we had piano tomorrow morning. Could have won the Mother of the Year award there. For not having the kid ready.
Wow. That's a page on my book, dear.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Pink's on in Brisbane tonight.
Yeah. Half
Probably
the
got
planet,
branched.
half the planet's at pink. Or half the state. Tons of people from here have gone to it. I'm a Pink fan, but I'm not a fan of concerts. Not a big concert fan. Sorry. Right. What do we think? Don't know about the big I think it needs to be there for journaling, to write the journaling on it in white on this shield. Right. There. What do we think? I love concept. Doesn't need the paper, no, Debbie. There's space for journaling, doesn't need it. Thank you, Dee. Been to a few concerts. I used to love concerts when I was younger. Honestly, pink tickets are not in my budget, but they're not in our budget, unfortunately. So let's get these 3 very outer embellishment pieces done, and then put our rememberable on, and then we'll build from here off that. And a lot of this I think I'm going to do fairly flattish. This is a crinkled up colour cut. Yeah, it's not perfect. Someone that doesn't like glue, I've been using a lot of glue lately. Happy.
Yeah, I just couldn't get over the ones in Melbourne, the Taylor Swift ones, how they wanted, with half the audience from the outside of Victoria, But they wanted to have a safe area.
On the park next door.
Yeah. Oh, Aileen, see you night. Good night,
Night, Aileen. And Margaret's here. Margaret E.
Hey, Margaret.
Or Helena. Helena or Helena. Oh, sorry if I say it wrong. Helena or Helena
Also, Chrissy.
is the reason why she got Margaret and Aileen into scrapbooking.
There you go. Thank you very much, mate.
Yeah, she walked past a shop and it intrigued her, and she went in, and that was it. And then she rushed out and got Margaret and to show her. I love that.
God, there's a flashback Friday for the Glass Sports Association. And obviously, photos enhance the photo somewhat.
Right.
It's February 1964.
Oh.
And there's 3 gentlemen in white shirts and braces, and one's in shorts and white long socks, standing out on a coal stock pole next to a bulldozer.
Why would you wear white on a coal stockpile?
Well, you know what?
My first question is, why would you wear white on a coal
Must have been a
stockpile?
still day because the first breeze there wouldn't have been, you know.
There wouldn't have been any white in
Oh,
that
mate,
clothing.
sitting on the bulldozer in the background, his shirt ain't white, let me tell you. No cabs on the bulldozers back then.
I'm actually going to do this white. This flat white. It's got to be saying white now. I'm actually going to do this flat. I've been doing a few flat layouts lately because I'm looking at my piles of layouts and there's lots of dimension. Yep. So I'm coming about half an inch from the edge and about half an inch up here. For those that like to get it the same. And I'm going to leave about 1/4 inch gap. I like the background. I like the serendipity of it where you don't know exactly how it's going to turn out. And I'm going to mimic that 1/4 inch gap. Look at that. I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's put our candle in. We do go through phases where everything's raised and then others where everything's flat. Yeah. Not Eileen. Yeah, the prices of concert tickets are just phenomenal.
Yeah.
I remember paying $15 to go and see what did I go? Ice House. I saw Ice House twice. Wawanee, Divinals and Screaming Jets I saw together for $15. I've seen Chrissy Amplet, wasn't it? I've seen the Divinals a couple of times actually. Yeah. I don't know. Did you go and do too many concerts, Quentin? Not really.
Not really. I was a poor apprentice.
You were a poor army apprentice. They didn't exactly pay as well, did they?
No.
I was a uni student. $15 was a lot of money for a uni student to go to a concert. I did. Milton's first concert was. What are they called?
No, that went back. No.
The backup band was 52 Flicks.
Yeah.
That's how
Short
Milton.
Stack.
Short Stack. We went to Short Stack. That was Milton's first concert. I think he was like 12. And I took him to Short Stack. And we didn't have mosh pit tickets. We had seated tickets. In the first row of seating. We were. And I think all up it cost me like $70 for the two of us to go to the concert. But yeah. He's still a Short Stack fan, but we discovered the backup band was 52 Flicks and we fell in love with them. We did fall in love with the backup band, both him and I. he was meant to go to a short stack concert that got cancelled because of COVID. He'd had tickets for a very, very, very long time. Being a bit of a long-term super fan. Okay, let's put our photos down first, and then we'll put on our Bella shots. So some of my paste is still a little wet. So I'm going to come up probably 2 inches from the bottom. Trying not to rush. Like, I do go too fast sometimes for you guys, and I'm sorry, but I'm being very mindful that we're coming up to the 2-hour mark, and that's just...
Holy moly, Deborah, $600 a ticket for Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, husband wanted to see Fleetwood Mac, but the tickets were $600, yeah. Let's do the 1/2 inch gap here. Again, mimic that. Yeah, $600. Fleetwood Mac are good, but... But I'm talking back in the... When did we see... Icehouse came to Gladstone. Well, that was back in the late 80s. Saw Icehouse and Milani. Pretty cool.
So, yeah, our friend Graham, Alicia, he was in the railway with me.
Yeah.
His daughters went through Scouts. He's got a photo on Facebook with his use by date of his milk being the 30th of February.
Oh dear. Someone's made an oopsie-daisy there.
Some of the milk factories
Someone's, yeah.
forgot that it's a short month.
It's okay. Don't worry. I was discharged from the army on the 31st of February.
29th, yeah.
No, 31st of February I was discharged from the army.
Right, I thought it was the 29th.
Yep, 31st of February I was meant to discharge from the army.
Yeah.
Still don't have that discharge certificate because I'm not sure I was discharged properly, but no one ever came after me, so I didn't fill in that paperwork. I just signed it. I didn't even look at the date they had my discharge down for. Yep. I discharged on the 31st of February. I don't know. Not sure what happened there. I have got the balloon over the photo mat there.
I guess tea ruler out there.
Yeah, always use my tea ruler. I really don't know what I did in life before I had the tea ruler. The tea ruler is the best thing ever.
Well, I know a lady that does a lot of YouTubing that we convinced to use
A mat.
a mat is loving it.
Yep.
So,
She's watching too, aren't you?
she's told me her secret of no glare off the mat, but
Oh.
she's got to have a fixed light to do it with. And ours is a very mobile sort of thing we have, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have frame, can teach anywhere.
Yep. We fling this thing in the back of the car on a regular basis. So, let's build our... So this is going to be for our journaling. And I'm using the top of our shield with this photo to get it just right.
Oh, excuse me.
And I'm just building the bits out, kind of putting them so that they make sense to me. Makes sense to me. I don't know if that's a valid thing or not. Just not particularly sure. I'm putting all my stars. I've got so much on here. I'm actually putting all the stars so they're, you know, pointing upwards. Like they're all up and down. They're not on different angles because there's just so much going on. There needs to be something that's straight and calm. So that one's quite good.
This is my only social time, so you can go as slow as you like that if you need to. So.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Dee. I think Leone and that saw Bruce Springsteen, didn't they?
So we had that. Oh, I don't think I asked the lady from Townsville her name.
Oh, hello. Oh, geez, you're terrible.
Yeah. I was just trying to comfort her because she was a bit overwhelmed in our shop.
Our shop can be very overwhelming. The scary part is we're about to change it all around.
Hubby was very.
He helped
to put the group on Facebook.
He put our group.
What's the name?
He put our store on her phone and loaded our group on her Facebook. That's a wonderful.
They were on their way to Pink.
He's a keeper. I'd definitely say he's a keeper.
Apparently there's not much at all in the way of shops in Townsville.
So unfortunate. They used to have 2 shops back in the day. Like all business, it's not easy.
Definitely not.
It's not always cupcakes and rainbows.
These saw in excess in 1986. That would have been a great concert.
Oh, Quentin always wanted to see In Excess.
I want to see their Kick concert.
The Kick one. But real In Excess. Quentin's very... Yes, you're a purist, aren't you, dear?
Oh. It's great.
Quentin loves In Excess. We actually have In Excess on our playlist just for Quentin. We bought it for him on iTunes, and that's all he played on his phone. I put an In Excess album on his phone.
I've never updated my iTunes thing, so I've still got all my songs.
He's got all his songs. I have added to his songs, but he did only want his In Excess on there, but he does have Fleetwood Mac fan from way back. Fleetwood Mac, and what else do you have on there? Oh, I've got a lot of Lenny Kravitz on there.
That YouTube thing.
Yeah, we ended up with a free YouTube album. I don't know if anyone else got the free YouTube album when they put it out. Oh, YouTube, not YouTube, U2 album. I don't like it. Okay. What are we thinking? It's a bit of a it's a very boyish birthday page. We've got candles and balloons and stars.
I wasn't quite that big of a fan, Dee.
What's that?
I didn't name your first son after my wife.
No. Milton is named after my grandfather. It's one of my grandfather's Milton names. And my grandfather's named after Milton Station, which he later managed as a young man with children, or as a man in his 20s with small children. He managed, in his 30s, he managed Milton Station for a while, which was pretty cool. suppose he would have been in his 30s actually, because he was in the army. He was only 17 when he joined the army. Already had 2 daughters, but
You were back then.
yeah, a wife and 2 daughters. Oh, that was a bit wet there. Bit paste there. Oopsie. Music taste is extremely diverse and eclectic. Yep, ours is a bit like that too. Bon Jovi and Fleetwood Mac and In Excess and the kids have got a diverse thing. We do listen to the same stuff as our children as well. You got to listen.
The girls love ABBA.
Yes, we have ABBA. You've got to listen to what your kids listen to. Pink, got a lot of Pink. And discovery of the century at Christmas time, the girls discovered that because we've got a Pink DVD in the car.
We only had the car for 10 years.
No, 9.5 years we'd had the car, just over 9 years, and the girls discovered that if the car is on and stationary, you can watch a DVD on the big screen in the car, like in the front, the sat nav screen. So yeah, because it's a fair size screen and a Pathfinder. So this one was 3 3/4 across. I always do the across measurement first, and even when you look at a product in our online store, except for maybe the first couple, probably the first 1 or 2 dozen title cuts aren't this way. They're a bit mishmash, but it's always horizontal and then vertical. Don't know why. So I'll write on these. I think journaling on here in white. On the little with like a pilot juice up in white, or even the pale blue would look cool. Not the orange, it would show up. And yes, if you haven't been around for a while, I have got a new pencil. I did finally relent. Nearly 4 years I got. Nearly 4 years I got out of the pencil of the century. I love my pencil. We do actually have Prismacolor pencils at the store, but they're not online. This one's landscape. Some people don't like that I use fake photos, but then a lot of you like that you can just glance at the page and know what size photo to grab because it's just all there, and it actually helps with perspective, the size. So there we go. I think I like it. I had fun, even though I could not hear. I'm not sure if I need a better phone or get my hearing aids checked. Oh, Jackie, I hope it's just the app or something. Country, Irish, and classic rock. Well, there you go. You know, we play a bit of heavy metal music at work for jolly and hard rock. I like AC/DC. And Offspring.
Offspring are legendary.
Offspring are legendary. Quentin and I love Offspring.
The early stuff.
Yeah. And Nickelback. We're Nickelback fans. We have a very diverse taste in music. I love how this turned out.
Looks made.
Just got to try and find. Maybe one of the kids has got photos from Noah's 5th birthday on their phones. I don't know. How old would Milton have been? 14. I don't know if he had an iPhone yet. I don't think he quite had an iPhone. See? Could have had photos if he had an iPhone. So there we go. We have used 4 stencils and we've used a stamp, and then we've done stenciling the wrong way, but it looks okay. So by going with it and being consistent with that, it's okay because it then just looks distressed. So if you're in a pinch, you can do it, but you've just got to try and not be too willy-nilly like that one just there. You really can't see any of my stuff down here. You can't see the black bit. It's just peeking through there, but you can see a bit of the cogs and the texture paste, and then we've got our sun ray and our flicking in our colours, and we've sort of mimicked our colours around to make them work. And yes, we've got 4 different of the dark blue, but it does work. I think it works. And then brought a little bit of aqua in. So there'll be a kit, but we probably won't make it till the morning. I'm going to go and check on my boy. I've got a 17-year-old that's feeling unwell. So, and he doesn't like it. He is not happy at all. He's actually quite upset. So I'm going to go and check on my boy, and I'll make the kit in the morning. Thank you very much for watching. Really, truly do appreciate you spending your time with us and taking the time out of your Singing Matchbook 20. Oh, cool, Debbie. That sounds awesome. Taking the time to spend it with us. Yes, we do put up photos in. So this week's album in the Creative Family group, there'll be photos of this when I get my bottom into gear and get them photographed and edited. But Quentin will put photos up of this on our Facebook page in the morning.
Yeah.
So there'll always be photos of Friday night's page on Saturday morning on our Facebook page. Quentin always does that. He's much quicker than I am. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Dee and Jackie and Margaret and Raquel and Helena and Debbie and Cheryl and Di and Debbie and everybody. Thank you all. Thank you to everyone I have missed. Thank you to everyone that's watching and not commenting. Thank you to everyone on YouTube. Take care. Stay safe. Really, truly love you all, and we really, truly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedules to spend it with us and to shop with us and to use our products, because we're pretty proud of our products and love seeing what you guys have been doing. There's been some absolutely awesome stuff in the Creative Family group this week, and it just blows my mind what you guys do with the stuff that we make. I hope he is too, Deborah. We might let you know in the morning in the weekly roundup. I'll have a weekly roundup in the morning at the shop and let you know how he's going. Thank you, Margaret, over on the tube. And take care, stay safe. Love yous all, and thank you very much. Bye.